So this is the completed Jackson Chameleon terrarium. I put a lot of hard work into this, and I'm just going to go through each individual component, and I encourage you to leave comments and suggestions. I'm always looking for ways to improve upon things. I'm going to start with the actual cage itself. I purchased this cage from a friend of mine. It's I believe it's a reptile. 4 feet tall is what it was. Bought it from him used for $50. And unfortunately the cavity, we're actually in my attic, so the cavity for this to fit, I had to cut a good 3 inches off of the screen, readjust it. So in that regard, this cage itself, it has been custom built. It's a technicality, but I can say that it is custom made. First thing that I did is I created a background. Now the background that you see here was made with spray foam. They use it for insulation. So I got a large piece of foam board, covered it with the spray foam, then went through and painted it by hand. Each little crevice, each little detail, painted it by hand, sealed it with acrylic, let it dry for 3 days. There are no vapors coming off of it. The second thing that I did after I made the background was I wanted to create the plant boxes for the live plants. And to achieve this, what I did is I picked up 2 small cat pans, cat litter boxes, and you can see it from the side. It's just a black box. At the bottom of the black box, I put filter floss media, covered that with the screen, and then put the soil on top of that. And the reason I do that is because it creates drainage. I have these tubes that go underneath and into this bucket. So any water from the humidifier, from watering, is drained into this. Speaking of humidifiers, I do have one on an appliance timer. It goes off about 6 different times a day because these Jacksons require very high humidity. That is the outtake tube for the fog, and I might as well just turn that on so you can see it. So we'll bypass the timer. Excuse the darkness. Okay. So within a few seconds, you get this very fine water vapor, which creates a really cool effect. And also keeps the animals healthy. These guys are prone to dehydration from what I understand, so I wanted to make sure that they had everything they needed to be healthy. Speaking of being healthy and hydration, I understand these guys use a drip system to drink. Or at least they sell them in pet stores. But I wanted to take up one step further and make it a little bit better. I created a fountain by using a recirculating pump, fish line air tubing that goes behind or through the background, through the other side. It's attached here with a zip tie and a chopstick. And in here there is a small bag of activated carbon for water filtration, filter floss, and on top of that is actually a pantyhose to catch any large debris and to prevent insects from going in there and polluting the water. What else is there? These guys don't require very high basking areas, unlike the bearded dragons and leopard geckos through the desert animals that I keep. So they have a very small 25-watt basking bulb. I can actually touch this with my hand and it's not hot. It's just enough for them to stay, to increase their body temperature, for digestion. They do have sufficient UV. I do have another lighting system that I ordered. I'm waiting for it to come in. We're actually in the middle of a blizzard right now, so the mail has been on hold. But I do have plant grow lights. They're also on appliance timers for the bromeliads and a few other plants that are down here. When I feed these guys by hand, one at a time, gut-loaded dubia roaches. And the gut load that I feed them includes bee pollen, kelp powder, spirulina powder, brewer's yeast, and that way these guys get adequate nutrition. I hear horror stories of people getting these Jackson's chameleons, and then after 3 or 4 months, when they seem like they're doing fine, they just drop dead. And the biggest factor to that is either dehydration or poor nutrition. So it is important that if you're going to keep these animals healthy, that you give them healthy food. And they've been acclimating in this new enclosure now for a little over 4 or 5 days. The female is perfectly content to stay in a small area. The male, I call him my little monkey. He is everywhere. He is curious. He has got the best personality. And, well, hopefully they'll breed. I know that if I were a chameleon, I'd probably be very happy here. And, well, like I said, this is the custom-built terrarium for the Jackson's chameleons. Please leave me a comment, feedback, suggestions for improvement. I am always looking to gain new insight, and I do not believe that I have all the answers. So please, give me your feedback. Thank you for watching, and be a responsible pet parent.